The killer didn't run, didn't hide, and didn't leave. He stayed in the house for days after everyone was dead. In the spring of 1922, on a remote farmstead in Bavaria, Germany, an entire family was brutally murdered. No screams were heard, no suspects were arrested, and the killer may have lived inside the house for days after the murders. This is not just a story about violence. It's a story about isolation, it's paranoia, and one of the most unsettling crime scenes in European history. This is the case of the Hinterkaifeck Murders. Hinterkaifeck was not a town. It wasn't even a village. It was a single farmstead, located miles from the nearest neighbors, surrounded by forest and farmland. The Gruber family lived there. Andreas Gruber, the strict and controlling patriarch. Cäcilia Gruber, his wife, Victoria Gabriel, their widowed daughter, Cäcilia Gabriel, Victoria's young daughter, Joseph, Victoria's infant son, and Maria Baumgartner, a newly hired maid who had arrived that very day. Life on the farm was tense. Locals described Andreas as harsh and feared him. The family kept to themselves, and rumors followed them. Months before the killings, strange things began happening. Footsteps were heard in the attic, but no one was found. Tools went missing and later reappeared. A newspaper appeared in the house, one no family member had purchased. Perhaps most chilling of all, its footprints were discovered in the snow, leading from the forest to the house. But there were no footprints leading away. Despite these signs, Andreas Gruber refused to involve the police. Whatever or whoever was watching the farm stayed unseen. On the night of March 31st, 1922, something lured members of the family into the barn. One by one, they were attacked with a Matica farming tool similar to a pickaxe. Andreas, Cäcilia, Victoria, and young Cäcilia. All were killed in the barn. The killer then entered the house. The maid, Maria, was murdered in her bed. The infant Joseph was killed in his crib. 6 people were dead. But the most disturbing part was what happened after. The days following the murders, neighbors noticed smoke rising from the chimney. The livestock had been fed. Meals had been eaten. Someone was alive inside the farm. When the bodies were finally discovered days later, evidence suggested the killer had remained on the properties, leaping, eating, and moving freely among the dead. This was not a crime of panic. It was calculated, controlled, and deeply unsettling. Police investigated hundreds of suspects. No one was ever charged. Some believed Andreas Gruber himself was the target, known for abuse and rumored incest involving his daughter Victoria. Others suspected Karl Gabriel, Victoria's husband, officially killed in World War I, but never confirmed by a body. There were also theories involving neighbors, former employees, and wandering criminals. But evidence was mishandled, the crime scene was contaminated, and crucial clues were lost forever. In 1923, the farm was demolished. The murders faded into history, but the mystery never did. The Hinterkaifeck murders are not remembered for their brutality alone. They are remembered because of the silence, the isolation, the idea that evil didn't just arrive, it stayed. Someone walked those halls, fed the animals, lived among the bodies, and then disappeared without a trace. The victims of Hinterkaifeck were real people. Their lives mattered. More than a century later, their killer has never been named. If this case disturbed you, that's understandable. Some mysteries are not meant to be solved, only remembered. Thank you for watching Legends and Crimes. If you want more long-form stories like this, consider subscribing. And until next time, stay curious, stay safe.